Hello everyone. In this video, we are beginning with two important ideas from coordinate geometry. So welcome to chapter 1, graphs, and those two concepts that we're going to look at today deal with distance and midpoint. Okay, so again, this is Math 152 Precalculus, and this is video 1, distance and midpoint. By the end of this video, you should be able to do two things. By the end of this video, you should be able to do two things. The first thing you should be able to do is find the exact distance between any 2 points on the coordinate plane. Find the exact distance between any 2 points on the coordinate plane. And then the second thing you need to be able to do is to find the midpoint between any 2 points. Okay, so just to reiterate, find the exact distance between any 2 points on the coordinate plane, and then also find the midpoint between any 2 points. But before we use any formulas, I want us to understand where these formulas come from and what they actually mean. So I don't want you to simply memorize symbols without understanding the mathematics behind them. So it's very important that you understand the symbols before you're able to apply them. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a coordinate plane. So part one, coordinate plane review. So we're going to start there. So a coordinate plane is essentially a vertical line and a horizontal line. Okay. So this is called a coordinate plane. Okay. It's also sometimes referred to as a Cartesian plane. All right. It is in two-dimensional space, and so we represent it based on a vertical line and a horizontal line. You can think of it as north, south, east, west. Okay. Now, this coordinate plane in mathematics, we label it based on a specific notation. So the vertical axis is also known as the y-axis. And you might have already said it before I said it, which would be great. That's the y-axis, and then this is called the x-axis. And we usually put a hyphen in between those, right? So we have the y-axis, which is representative of the vertical line, and we have the horizontal line representative of what we call the x-axis. And then we also label the part where the two lines intersect. That part is called the origin. And the origin is represented by 0, 0. Now you may say, well, what is this right here? This is representative of a point. So if I were to say plot the origin, all you have to do is plot that point there in the center at 0, 0, because I'm neither traveling to the left or right of the x-axis, nor am I traveling north or south of the y-axis. Okay. Now, I want to begin with a quick review of this so that you can essentially understand how these concepts are applicable with respect to what we said earlier, which is the distance and midpoint. Okay. So again, we've established this part. All right. We've established that the horizontal axis is called the x-axis. We established that this part is called the y-axis. And we also established that the point where the two axes intersect, that is called the origin. Okay, very, very important. And the coordinates of the origin, the coordinates of the origin is represented by 0, 0. Okay, so the origin coordinates are 0, 0. Every point on the coordinate plane is identified by an ordered pair. Okay, so this is an ordered pair system, and that is representative of the origin. The proper notation is XY. So this notation here tells you that every point on the coordinate plane is identified by this particular ordered pair. So if I were to map that and say, well, what's the origin? The origin would be 0, 0. Why? Because it is traveling neither left or right of X on the X-axis, nor is it traveling up or down on the Y-axis, okay? So the first number tells you the horizontal position, right? First number tells you the horizontal position, and then the second number tells you the vertical position, okay? So just keep that in mind. This would be the horizontal, and this would be the vertical position, okay? Horizontal, horizontal position, and the vertical position, okay? You have to keep that in mind. Now, what we're going to do is I'm going to give you an idea here. I'm going to say 4, 3. Okay. So for example, what if I say plot this? Okay. What if the question says plot 4, 3? All right. So if the directions say plot 4, 3, we're going to take that concept up to our coordinate plane here, and we're going to plot that, right? So I'm going to use, hope you can see this on here, highlighter to kind of show you. Matter of fact, let's use a pencil first. So the first thing you want to do, the first coordinate is a 4. And remember, this tells you how many units to travel horizontally. This tells you how many units to travel vertically. So the first thing I'm going to do is travel 4 units horizontally. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So that puts me there. Okay. So I've traveled 4 units from the origin. You always want to start at the origin. Now I'm 4 units over from the origin along the x-axis according to this point system. The next thing it says travel 3 units up from that location. So 3 units up from that location would be 1, 2, 3 units. So notice 1, 2, 3. That would put me here. So the point 4, 3 is located there on the Cartesian plane. Let me darken these so you can see. So 4 units, 3 units. That would be specifically where that point is located. Now, this basic idea leads us to our first major question. And that question is, if we have 2 points on the coordinate plane, how can we determine the exact distance between those 2 points? And so this concludes part 1. And that is where we will begin in part 2. Thanks for watching.